Good morning, everyone. Here is our Friday stream, and this will be uploaded in a couple hours. But in the last few live streams, it's been mentioned that we'd like to see some cooking on the Blackstone. And since I am starving this morning, I thought I would break it out. And also, it is so cold here. And I know we've talked about in the past of like, yeah, so in colder climates, you hear people saying they put their stuff away and they don't use it all year. We use it all year round. So this morning, though, what I'm going to be doing is just some very basic breakfast. I'm going to cook some bacon, and then I'm going to do some cheese omelets. I thought that was pretty good for the morning. I've already preheated my griddle, and I have it on uh, pretty low, not all the way low, like just on the first little tick. Sometimes people get in a hurry with their Blackstone and because they think it's a big hot and fast skillet, but that is the easy way to get your food burnt. And so that is why we put it on that heat. And if you're interested at all, this is my 36-inch Blackstone. This is a Keeter table. You buy them, they're a little bit over $100 at Sam's Club. They cost more if you order them online. So, but they're great because the Keeter table has like under shelf storage and it stays clear all winter. Uh, Back over behind me, I have both our patio tables, and I always put my griddle covers and things over on the far away one in case I want to relax at the table while I'm cooking. So what I have here that you can't really see real well on the camera is I have two bowls for 4 eggs beaten together, a bowl of some fire roasted hatch green chili, a couple giant pieces of butter, and some of my smoked cheddar cheese, which at one point we will break out the smoker this winter to do another round of smoked cheese. So that's coming. And then I also have my bacon. This was a hickory smoked bacon. So we'll go from there. I also, just so you are aware, will be using my big giant spatulas. I know, and I actually have several of the regular griddle spatulas, but these hamburger or smash burger spatulas are the greatest. I love them, and I use them more than the regular ones. Even though sometimes they're not as wide as you might like, they're big. Well, I mean, as long as you would like. They're really wide, and I find them very comfortable to use. And I have two of them, so hey, why not? I also will be using domes, which helps with melting the cheese on your omelets. And we're going to experiment today because I have not tried this 100% before, but I saw on several different Blackstone TikToks and YouTubers where they use the rings from the Instapots to contain their omelets, because when you normally make an omelet, as you're pouring the egg on there, it starts spreading out all over. So like an egg ring, only it's the Instapot ring, and I don't use these. They're for my 8-quart, and I already have the red for things like yogurt or cheesecakes, and the other clear one that came with the Instant Pot. So if I ever need to, replace them, they're like $6 on Amazon, so I'm not hurt if throwing it on the Blackstone suddenly is a very bad idea. We'll find out together, right? So I am wearing gloves to handle my bacon, and my bacon is on a piece of separate parchment from my tray. So we just toss that. I always keep a little garbage attached right there, and you throw your bacon on the griddle. Oh, isn't that's the favorite, right? That awesome first sizzle. So, and like all big flat top skillet, some parts of my griddle are hotter than others. Take a moment just to lay it down. And that's all there is to it. I also have my tongue. This is the most critical, important thing to cooking success on the Blackstone. Take off these gloves now. Always remember, 3 times. If you don't do that, suddenly all of your cooking will go horrendously wrong. And now that I see how fast my bacon is cooking in this cold, I turn my griddle all the way down. Now, this is something that a lot of people forget to tell you. If your bacon is sticking, it's not ready to flip yet. You can give it a little bit of a lift, but it will slide. See, there's the one. Comes right up. You give it your first flip. Nope, a little bit of sticky. Nope, there we go. First flip. If your bacon is curly, you can use a press. I honestly am too lazy to do that. So I am just going to come through, give them the first flip. It's bacon. Hopefully you know how to cook bacon, but if not, this is the easiest and laziest way to do it. This one's extra curly. We'll just spread it out and give it a little squish here on the tip. Come back over here. Give these a flip. Now, for those of you who are new to using a flat-top griddle, or maybe you've not had the great success after seeing like post after post, like I said, low heat is really the key. People really want to jack up that heat, and it's honestly the biggest mistake. But once you get the hang of it, it's very easy. The other thing that a lot of people say about the Blackstone is, oh, cook bacon to season it up. Everything is all about the bacon cooking. And while, yes, it's great, and bacon is awesome, and it will grease up your griddle, and it makes it nice for all of the other things you're going to cook, that's not how you season your griddle. When you cook bacon, and I know you can't necessarily see it that great on this camera, we'll be working on that in the future. I've been talking with some of my partners and all of that fun stuff about some potential investment to improve that. But bacon has things in the seasoning and the cure that leaves residue on your griddle. So for your first round of seasoning, I really recommend you touch base on YouTube with Blackstone Betty's page. Blackstone Betty is a representative for the Blackstone company, but she also has a couple different videos on how to season your griddle when it's brand new. And she talks about the process about putting down your initial griddle seasoning, and then the very first cook is onions, not bacon, because bacon leaves residue, so it's not going to help with your first round of seasoning. And you can hear now that my bacon cooking is slowing down just a smidge. I'm going to give that a quick check. And I'm going to flip it over again. Once you start doing your second flip on the bacon, it does start to cook a little faster. And now I'm going to turn it up just a teeny smidge again. Just like when you cook in the cast iron on the stove. You start to get a feel of where you need to make small tweaks here and there to your heat. And keep it going the way you like it for your personal preference. So, I'm going to go through here, little curly piece. Now I have a little more room. I'm going to maybe move these pieces around a little bit. Just flipped. But yeah, so the bacon cooking will adjust a smidge, and you can find if you have some spots on your griddle that aren't as fast as other, you can you can start moving your bacon around a little bit, keep it moving. Some that are cooking faster than others, move them back out to your less heated areas. Just keep a good eye on it because it'll start going fast. Like these are down here. They're getting to be that just perfect golden, crispy, bacony look to it. So I'm really moving some of these. You guys, I eat keto, so like my bacon cooking has to be an art form by this point. And bacon preference is highly individualized. Don't get caught up when people are like, oh, that's too burnt, or soft bacon is not to my liking. Guess what? All bacon is delicious bacon, and you cook it to your personal preference. That is what the best bacon is, when you get it to the way you like it. So just, I try not to be too over judgy about people's food preferences because, quite frankly, the omelet I'm about to make would probably make Gordon Ramsay throw up in the trash can, and yet it is going to be my very favorite. So take the criticism with a grain of salt, or 10 since we're keto. So yes, a lot of my bacon here is getting to the perfect temperature. And while this is happening, I'm going to take my little green chilies and I'm going to toss them down here in the bottom in some of this grease and give them a little cook. They're already cooked, but they've been in the fridge, so I want to warm them up and get some of that. So as you can see, I'm not afraid to get mess on my griddle. Don't ever feel that you can't get your griddle dirty because it's easy to clean. We won't do that today, but I think that in part of my winter prep, we'll do like a whole video where I just scour the whole thing down and we give it a good prep, whole re-seasoning sort of thing. And just to let you know, I just keep flipping my bacon and checking it. And as you notice, I took a couple pieces up here so they can stay warm. Once I see that they're exactly to my liking, I bring them up here and keep them so that I can then throw them on the tray at the end with the omelets and have them all just right and keep them warm. Because if you take them off now and then you're going to cook a whole omelet, it'd be really cold. So I just slide them off into a spot to be warm. This one's good to go. Perfect. Throw this piece over here. Utter perfection. Glorious, delicious bacon. And this is some thin sliced bacon. I often like to have some thick bacon, but since I was going to share breakfast with my kid today, I thought that I would use all the same kind of bacon, so I have the thin slice today. And I'm just pulling it all off now here and piling it off in the corner. It'll rest up and get extra nice. It'll stay nice and crispy, get good and firm. None of it is overcooked. Let me see if I can get one of these slices and just show you up close in the camera. Now, I guess it's too bright out, but trust me when I tell you this bacon is perfectly delicious looking. I can't wait. So now I've got my chilies here that are nice and warmed up. I'm going to put these tongs away. And so now they're extra nice because they were already fire roasted from the pellet smoker. And if you don't want to do your own chilies, don't even give it a second thought. Costco sells great big jars. I'm going to bring some fat here to clean some of the residue off. But Costco sells giant jars of fire roasted hatch green chilies, and they're actually really quite tasty. So no worries, you don't have to get in a fuss about it. Now, here is the next important step here to this omelet. You want to give this a little bit of a scrape so that your omelet doesn't stick too much. But don't worry, because some of it, if it sticks, it sticks. You know, most of the time, if you don't do bacon first and you just do omelet, it slides right off. Sometimes if I do fried eggs and that's all I've done, and it's just straight on the griddle, if you're not paying attention and you talk to somebody, you flip and it'll slide right off the griddle out the backside into the dump. Oops. So that's a disappointing but hilarious thing to have happen. One little bit chili. So let's try this ring. One ring down, two rings down. I'm gonna actually turn these two off and just use the residual heat from the two end pieces. Oh, my chilies are getting stuck to the griddle. Oh, they're so nice. I wish that you could see them up close. They are just delightful looking. I will towel here so it doesn't get dirty. Omelets, that's where that butter comes into play. Doink. Don't worry. And also, don't ever do what I just did. It's a naughty thing to do. Use your spatula. Spread your butter around. What did I say? All right, here, let's find out if these rings work as advertised. Oh, they do? You guys, it's holding so perfect. The trick will be as to whether it actually works off. Oh no, see, they leaked and they exploded right out underneath. No problem, because we're gonna flip it. But it did keep it from running all over the griddle all crazy. Yep, see, if you lift it, it comes right out. And that's fine, because these are some dirty hard cook omelets. It's close enough. I'm taking them off. I don't consider that a good successful. I mean, it was all right, but it didn't do anything that made me feel I was upping my omelet game. I'm actually going to take this and just spread my egg out a little bit. Bring it forward, shake it up. Oh, I did two bar scraping. And that's it. You just set your egg here. The important part's coming up now. Just give me a second to organize myself and my little mini parchment to prevent things from touching the parchment that I'll put for the serving. My trash is escaping because it's cold and windy. There we go. But, you know, we love cheese, and smoked cheddar is the bomb. You just lay that down in here. And I get my spatula back, and I take these green chilies, and I throw half right in there. And get some of that fat off of it. Delightful. Now, this is always the part. I always put too much in there, but I'm going to do it anyways. Flip it over. I love me some overstuffed omelets. It did stick to some of that bacon residue, but nothing that the spatula can't handle. Get my little edges in to seal it up. One. And this dome it. You dome it so that your cheese gets some heat to melt. That's how you get that good, delicious melty and the creamy center of the omelet. You're welcome for this delightful, dirty, extra bacon, greasy, buttery, delicious, cheesy omelet. So, I mean, that's pretty much all there is to it. I'm sure we'll all be very sad. It was a cheese crumb. Oh, that smoked cheddar, divine. And at this point, you can literally just go ahead and turn your griddle off. That's it. We're just giving it a couple seconds here to get melty on the inside, get some heat going. And then what we'll do is let my clean sheet of parchment escape because of how windy it is. I'll just set that. We'll deal with it in a second. So I hope everyone else is having an amazing Friday. I took my time out to cook my breakfast. I told my boss I was disappearing for a couple hours, but that I would work later this evening to make up for it. And he said, I'm actually in the car on the way to Nashville. No worries. So I guess that's why, that's what happens on Friday when you've already worked your 40 hours by like Wednesday afternoon. So nobody cares that I took time off for breakfast. So that's perfect for me. I can hardly wait. And so then I just have like a couple little meetings this afternoon. And this afternoon then I get to relax with my Keto Chow creamy ice cream. Can't ask for a better day. Relax. Then tonight we get to join Heath and Shelley on the Hungry Horde live stream. If you're not subscribed to them, you absolutely should. They are cooking geniuses, and they'll make my little piddly omelet making pretty mundane looking. But yeah, that's the next thing I would suggest signing up for if you aren't already. I assume many of you found me because you were members of the Two Crazy Ketos or the Hungry Horde already. So maybe I don't need to. Oh, I'm just going to move these onto my tray now so you guys can see. My cheese has escaped on these a little bit. So that's what happens when you use too much cheese. Now I just slide it over. Oh, flip it. So I lost a little piece of the omelet. Just flip it right back on there. No worries. Everybody gets so fussed about things looking just so, and honestly, taste is more important to me. The cheese skirty going there. That's also delicious. We'll probably do like some of the old favorites, stuff that everybody knows about, but you know, they're old favorites for a reason. I did not say I was making House Beautiful omelets. I said I was making tasty, dirty, crispy omelets. And that is what we have here. Let me just grab my bacon, throw it right in the middle. Well, you can't see how delicious it is because outdoors. But let me see if we can do something here. We'll just clean it up. Now, I can't quite get it for you. Sorry, folks. But trust me, they are golden and delicious looking. And with that, I am going to sign off. I would normally tell you we should clean the griddle, but I am ravenous because I normally eat first thing in the morning and then again in the afternoon. So this has been a long wait for me. And I'm going to go eat my food while it's hot off the griddle. So have a good one. I'll see you Sunday. And for those of you on some of the other streams, I'll chat with you tonight on their streams. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.